Anna.
Oh, I'm over here.
Yeah, I got to grab something. Tell people what we got going on.
Hey, everybody. Another jam session with V&A. We always encourage you guys to jump on live with us on Zoom. If you're on our list, we send out the emails because it also gives us time to do Q&A, help you incubate your business ideas and stuff like that afterwards. But today we're talking about niching or not niching. What are the pros and cons of niching, right? And, it's really important because this is a question we get all the time. And actually, the answer is a solution to many other frustrations that you have in your business. If you're not making enough sales, et cetera, et cetera. So,
well, I mean, if you're falling into the general market where you're not getting paid what you want, you're not working with the clients that you want, the people that aren't valuing and willing to pay for the transformation, the coaching that you can freaking deliver, it's because you're probably out there in the generalist market versus in that specialty niche market. So this question of do I niche or do I not to niche or not to niche? That is the question. Don't try to steal my Shakespearean rhythm and whatnot. But
I would make a better Juliet. I'm sorry.
Please, Anna, please.
Hey, Adrienne.
But we're also having a little wine. Well, I'm having wine. Anna's having tea or something.
This is probably wine.
Because some family members just rolled into town. So we're celebrating. They moved out here from the East Coast. They were like, yo, it's freezing on the East Coast. I'm out and moving to Cali. And we're like, yes, some family in Cali will help us out with babysitting.
Because Vito doesn't help.
No, I'm useless. I'm out here. Not funny. Hey, any one of you that laughed that I can see that you laughed, don't be booking a private call with me.
Guys like Vito are good for two things. Guys like Vito, who are dads, are good for two things.
Oh, Anna, be careful.
Really
just
good.
In case we do have some guys.
Really good. I know, I'm just saying, Vito, personality, if you know him, he's good for two things. Funny dad. So makes jokes, creates lots of laughter, has a lot of fun, can't change a diaper,
that's my niche,
but that's okay.
My niche as a dad is funny dad.
It's funny dad.
That's it.
It's humorous.
Provider dad and funny dad.
He's also good for number two, disciplined dad. Because you got to have that guy around that says, hammer's coming down, boy. I'll take you down. So you're good at those two things. So
anyway, you see, you can find your niche even in being a parent.
That's
what I'm saying to you. By the way, I can change diapers, Adrienne. Anna is just trying to swoon all of you with her lies and her deceit.
When the bed is wet in the morning, when you put the pull-up on, there's a reason. There's a little bit of a mishap.
Yeah, that usually happens when Anna can't handle kicking Luca. But nonetheless,
anyway,
so
we're
talking about niching. So the whole thing is so like, especially in this market today, like I figured out niching 2010 and 11 when like one of the only decisions when I was a dumb, broke ass mother effer back then, one of the things I at least did right that got me started right was I niched. Because I was just like, I'm only going to focus on the fitness industry. And that allowed me.
Specifically, studio owners.
Yeah, mostly studio owners. But of course, I got other people and things like that.
Yep.
But the fact that I did that allowed me to do some of the pros and the things that we're like going to share with you today.
We got pros and cons, people.
Yeah, I need a little bit.
We want to share all of our notes with you.
Right. By the way, have you guys gotten the Remarkable pad yet?
It's amazing.
This should be a commercial. The Remarkable pad is basically like a notebook, but it's infinite. You don't need to, you just start your own notebook, you write on it, you erase on it. So, but you can make files and folders and stuff.
How many of you guys have like 10 notebooks?
I have 10 notebooks. That was my life because I would have Brendan notebook, a P10 notebook, a that notebook, a this course notebook. Now it's just one pad, people. One pad.
He is on fire right now. We're going to get to the good stuff, you guys, I swear.
Right. But anyway, so I want you all to get the pad. No affiliation or anything like that yet. I should get equity in this
And
company.
if you have an iPad, you can write on, save files.
Yeah.
This, you can also download PDFs that are writable, and you can edit them.
But
it's pretty cool.
Hey, listen, in today's market, where it's so loud, so noisy, so crowded, and people want the cheap, the deal, the thing, because Jesus, now, especially with what happened with the pandemic, everything flooded online. So prices are plummeting in the general commoditized market. That the blue ocean strategy for you is to figure out what specific area of what you do Do you want to go specialize in, niche in, be the top dog in, whatever way you want to say it for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Because in there, you can get higher quality clients, people that are willing to pay more for the coaching that you deliver out there. And you get to really hone in on almost like your life's work. You're like, I'm going to get known for delivering this thing. And that's kind of legacy style stuff like that. Now, I know maybe not everyone's thinking I want to build a legacy, but I would challenge you to say you should. Because in that we do our best work, we do meaningful work, we do purposeful work that can hopefully one day outlast us. And that means we made a difference and a mark with our time set on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
So the questions are, what do you want to niche in?
Right.
What do you want to figure out?
Almost you have to think about like, what do I want to specialize in? Because like Vito said, if you're in the commodity market and you're not in the specialty market, then you're not standing out and your competition is much greater, right? That's one of those big cons is that if you're not niching down, and some people get scared to do it, they get scared to keep going and going deeper, like, ooh, I actually want to work with this specific audience. And the reason why that is so good is because then you're creating that specialty. And those are your real tight niche people.
Right. I'm at like pro number one. Like I'm a list person, people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a work by list.
Well, that
people.
is number one.
Number one, you get to speak directly to the people that you desire to work with. How many of you have ever worked with people that you're just like, oh my God, I want to kill myself right now. Oh my God. How did I get this client? Why? I only took it because I needed the money right now, et cetera. But you're like, this is not the ideal person I'd want to work with. Whether it was a personality thing, whether it was just you're like, this is beyond what I actually do coach and this person needs something else, et cetera. I don't know what the reason is, but somewhere along the line, everybody has worked with people that aren't your ideal, where you're like, every day it lights my soul to work with these people.
Yeah. In
With
fitness, it's
niching.
so much like that because
oh my God, well that happened to all of us in fitness.
When you're just like, oh, I help everyone get healthy, then you get those nightmare clients that are like obsessed about certain things, or they just never stick to anything, or it's like they've got these high expectations, unrealistic, or they never, take action. So it's like, when you get in the online space, you get to choose who exactly.
Well, I mean, it's any space. It doesn't matter whether it's online or offline. The idea that you get to just
in the
I did both, but I'm like, to work in a niche or specialty doesn't mean you only have to be online. You can have offline clients with it. It's the idea that you're very just targeted at the market that you want so that you can make the difference you want, make the money you want, et cetera, like that. So just imagine for yourself that you're like, if I got uber clear this year on exactly who I want to work with, and I intentionally and methodically and purposefully went and built a business around that, what does your life look like for the rest of your life? Because you're like, then every year I just get better at what I do. I get to work with more of the people that I love. I get to make the difference that I love. And you're like, oh my God, just like every day, every year is just like Happy Land, like La La Land. Yes, like La La Land. So that's another one.
I mean, let me also insert too. This is kind of, I guess, a second pro of niching.
Go pro.
If Vito will let me insert a thing here, it is that you can emotionally connect
Adrian,
with
I saw
your
you
people.
laugh at that.
Hey, did you guys hear that? You can emotionally connect with your audience. It's really hard to emotionally connect with your audience virtually when you're not with them, when you're not having a back and forth conversation, when you're just marketing to your audience. It's hard to connect to that emotion if you don't really know them, that 360-degree view of their life. So when I went from going from like, I help everyone in fitness, I help moms in fitness, I help prenatal like prenatal fitness, that's uber specific because like all the things you're feeling, your body, your mind, your emotions. Talk about connection. You get me, right? So you're niching so that you can speak to people's emotions, their real life, not just the solution you're offering, but everything else that's happening and why your solution actually helps serve all of that. Right. And I think that's the one thing that I have loved most about getting more down into who exactly do I serve. Right. Yeah.
I mean, because you get to be so in depth into the expertise, the problem, the life, the solution, the steps, the circumstances, all those things.
Yeah.
because you're like, I'm so focused in one place that it's like that client, that even that prospect that is looking out there for help is able to be like, damn, like, you know everything I'm going through, and you know this, and you know what I'm thinking, you know what I'm feeling,
And
you know
you
what
care.
I'm saying. That will change the level of your marketing, that will catapult you to almost being able to, at will, attract the clients that you want.
Mm-hmm.
But you know why most people don't get that? Because they don't do the work to have all that time and all that focus and all that discipline of being in one special area. And in a world where everything is becoming so just cheapened, when you get to be the person that you're like, I deliver quality experience, quality results, quality outcome, you just stand out because you're damn good at what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Versus trying to fit in with every other low dollar budget. If you want to play that game, I'm like, that's cool. Just play the volume game. But you got to play with the big boys now with that kind of stuff, because the Amazons and the freaking Apples,
all
and
that
the freaking
competition
Walmarts and they got all that like low volume masses, and they got a lot more money than we do to freaking capture that market. You're trying to be sniper-like. You're trying to be like, I want that person. I want that kind of person. I want that person. Now, specialty allows you to charge premium. I mean, why are the Ritz-Carltons? I mean, you see it in other brands, right?
You always do the back example.
The what? Oh, correct. Like, I mean, imagine like when I had blew out my back and I had to get surgery. I wasn't out on the market like, yo, where's the cheapest dude on the corner? Is anybody hawking back surgery around here? Has anybody got a coupon special and whatnot? And I wasn't looking for the general practitioner, because I'm like, you're gonna put a knife in my spine. I want to know you're damn good at what you do. That's magnetic marketing.
You found a specialist who does only backs, right? And not just any surgeon, not a surgeon that does backs, knees, shoulders, and hips.
And he was especially in the low back.
Back. That's it, right? So the more you can narrow down your specialty and who you serve and how you help them, the better, and the higher price you can charge, because less people are doing that. And less people are probably spending their time really researching that audience and what they're experiencing overall in their life.
Because everybody, not everybody, that's a gross generalization, but a lot of people in marketing, when we're like I see this time and time again when we're teaching students or people get on calls with us and whatnot, I'm like, how well do you know your market? And I'll ask them, and they'll be like, well, I know they want, like, I'm going to use something in fitness. I know they want to lose weight, drop some pounds, get some muscle, energy, and build some strength. I'm like, who the fuck doesn't, man? I'm like, that is lazy ass marketing. That I'm like, can you go any general? Can you go any deeper than that? No. And I'm like, this is why you're not making money. If I'm the first person telling you that, I'm sorry, but I'm also thankful. Because I'm also like, you may have not had somebody tell you when your marketing is paper thin, skin deep. It's why you're broke and not making money. When you spend the time like nerding out, geeking out, going deep on your marketing language. And I'm like, I'm good, but I know people that are extraordinary.
Sales and marketing books for fun.
That is my fun.
So if you don't have a lot of experience in marketing and sales, that's okay. But you've got to get started. I realized that even in my own journey when I met.
If you want to open up your earning potential.
Yes.
If you're
tap
like,
into that earning potential.
Like, feel like I don't give a shit about my earning potential. I'm like, don't study sales and don't study marketing.
And
don't worry about it.
And you know what the funny thing is that every marketing book starts with niching. Like how to find your audience, how to niche, because it's one of the most important things to do.
Do you know the big fear is? Oh man, do you know the big fear is just I'll miss somebody.
Right.
I won't get somebody. And you're like, oh, boo-hoo. Because what that really means is you're like, I don't know how to go get more of the people I want. And you're just accepting anybody. Right. You're just willing to, and I don't, by the way, and I'm not doing this to be like flippant about it. I did this too. I made this mistake for many, many years. And it's why I got stuck in the hourly wage I was stuck in, trading the dollars for hours. It was, and even when I started my online business and stuff, I didn't still be like, how do I go deeper? How do I go deeper? How do I find the person that exact? And even right now, when Ann and I are about to be coming out with like a new brand and a new thing that we've got going on and whatnot, I'm like, we asked ourselves again, who exactly is the person?
We went even deeper with
because we're like, yo, for the last 5 years, it was this person. But now in this new era that we're going into, we're like, it's this person. Because in a short life, where you're like, every day needs to be filled with joy and purpose and intention and freaking peace and calm and sanity and all those things and security and all those things that we really want.
We actually have that despite the energy happening right here.
What's the matter with that?
There's peace, calm, and sanity.
Anna, this is my peace, calm, and sanity.
But I don't know if people really actually believe that you have peace and calm in your life.
Anna, just because I'm fired up to talk about this, don't mean I don't go back after this and just have my wine.
This is true. But yeah, I was just telling them it's true. We actually do have that.
Yeah. But I lost the track of thought because Anna caught it off. But you get the freaking idea.
What he was saying is it's okay to revisit too your niche and say, how is this going with who I'm working with today? Am I happy? Do I have that joy? Am I feeling stress-free? Or am I working with clients that still stress me out? That's still making this feel like a lot of hard work? Or are they willing to do the work? Are they excited about the work? Are they, are they really truly interested in achieving the things that I'm here to help serve and create and help people achieve? So, even as we looked at it, we're like, yeah, who actually are the best people we've ever worked with? And let's work with more of those people.
And then all
they
we
fire
did
us up.
is do an analysis of, we're like, what does that person like talk about, feel, think about?
We
What's their
interview
family?
them.
We interviewed them and we're just like, oh, this is it? Great. Okay, now I got to go talk to that more, speak to that, infuse life into that. Your number one thing this year is to be like, how deep can I go into the market that I want without fear of I'm going to lose somebody? Mm-hmm. Because the beautiful thing about niche businesses and niche marketing, I mean, you've all heard the riches are in the niches little rhyme that's out there and whatnot. By the way, that was never trademarked or coined. And somebody I know, we talked about it and she went and got it. I'm like, how has that not been taken?
Really?
Angela, it's badass as all hell. That's why I'm hoping she comes out to Vision in the Vineyard.
Yeah.
And you'll see. What was my point again?
Well, let me just say and emphasize what he's talking about here is that you should actually look at your favorite, most precious clients who you love and interview them to understand them fully, to fully know, what they say about you, what they say about your program, what they say about what they needed, what they're achieving.
But I say even what they say about their lives and where they've been stuck.
Yeah.
One of our one of our top clients, Tamra. We interviewed her and thank God I hit record. Thank God I hit record. Because the things that she was saying, like some of our new marketing, I'm literally like, it's just her words. And I was talking to one of my friends who's a copywriter and she's like, yo, she's going to put me out of business. I can't say it better than that. And I'm like, because you can never write better copy than what people actually say.
That's right.
So if you're not constantly like nerding out on being like, yo, so tell me how you're feeling about that or whatever it is. And they're like, I felt like I was burning through cash, years and tears. I was just like, oh my God, what a line. What a great line. Oh my God. Like you want to be at that level that when you hear something, you're like, that's some marketing gold for me. To then be like, when I share that with my market, the person that's just like, that's me. I have been doing this for a couple of years. I burnt through a ton of cash. I felt my years go by. And how many times I've cried at night, do I want to freaking quit and give up on this? That person's like, you got my attention because now you're talking to me. You're trying to be like, who or what do I really need to say and to whom so that person that's just like, you have my gateway out. And
that's the person we really want to work with because they're the ones not
worried
about investing
you want to work
in themselves.
With for you.
Exactly. So it goes both ways, right? When you hear their words and it resonates, you're like, wow, that's how you felt. And actually you're one of our favorite clients and one of those clients that's just like willing to do the work, willing to invest in themselves, willing to spend the time. When a lot of people are kind of like, oh, I feel like this should just be easy. And if it's not, I'm copping out. Right? It's like, that's the most frustrating person for us who's like, yes, I want this. I need this. I can do this. And then they're like, oh, it's hard. I'm out. But when someone's like, I've been doing this, I've been grinding, I've been trying to make it work. That's the person that we're like, yeah. So you have to think about your audience in the same respect.
Right. Like I always teach our students, I'm like, a part of the offer that you want to be thinking about, and your offer is how you present to people a solution to help their freaking problems and how much you want for it and how much time it takes, etc. You have to figure out how long has your market been struggling with that problem?
Mhm.
Because the longer they've been with that problem, the more they're willing to pay to get it solved now.
Mhm.
That's why when you can demonstrate that you're like, I could fix this problem in a week, a year, 3 months, 6 months, etc. Speed to the person that's been struggling with the problem for long there is no price tag anymore on it. When I blew out my back after a year of dragging my leg around Manhattan
The story.
and being like, oh my God, I've tried every little common way, the massage therapist and the chiros and the this and the that, and I'm still not getting better. When I collapsed on the street and the pain was to the point of just like, it was the surgeon that got the call, the specialist
Yeah.
that got the freaking big paycheck
Because
I wanted the pain
fast.
out now. You got to be like, yo, what is the back surgery for the person I'm working with? What is the
Ooh.
collapse in the street? What is the pipe burst? And niche in on that person
Yeah.
because that person is willing to pay now, not in the future, now.
Right.
And then you're going to change your business economics. You're going to make a lot more money a lot faster.
Absolutely.
Who don't want that?
But on top of that as well, Vito, there's also this thing that I think about, like with a niche like Adrienne's, working with like the older population of people that are looking forward as like, I want to live the rest of my life, which isn't that long, right? Like if you're already 70, you're like, I got like 25,
that's their
30
urgency.
years.
You're like,
right. They're like, I need to do this now because I only have so much time left to really fully live my best life. And if I'm weak, frail, and can't play with my grandkids, what quality of life do I have? And so you're digging into the fact that like, every year, every day missed is losing,
Adrienne needs
right?
to be there with just a clock. By the time you're still watching this, are you still there?
What are you waiting
still
for?
There. Holy cow, because you're 75. I don't know. Are you still there? I hope you're still with me. Just have a big clock, grains of sand, weather dial, do all the things, Adrienne, to express.
Well beyond my point. Okay, so whatever.
Have fun with your marketing too, people. Learn to have fun with your marketing.
I mean, that is kind of funny, Adrienne. You could do something funny like that, and it would be endearing because you're so sweet and you would do it with like such grace. But I feel like there is that other side of the coin where if you don't need it solved right now, but there are other consequences. So you're not just thinking like, yes, I want it done fast, but like the bursting pipe is also, if I don't take action and join your coaching program or do your thing, what happens? What is the consequences for me for not taking action? That's also something really important to think about when you're thinking about your niche.
Oh, I got a couple other pros and cons for you,
yeah.
people, about why, like pros, really. I don't know any cons. I really don't know any cons to niching besides the fear of I won't be influencer level. I won't have the stadium filled to 50,000 people type thing and whatnot, which is a misnomer. But besides that, I don't know any cons. Because here's another great pro to
Would that be
niching.
Oprah?
You can...
She's
different. That's not the
everyone.
same model. It's not the same model.
I'm just saying, like,
but
her
like
brand.
With niching, what you get to do is concentrate your efforts.
Mm-hmm.
Like how many times in my life, I was just, well, we always joke about Anna being the queen of half double Coles and the product ADD. Not that I didn't do that too, but you're like, you get to be like, no, I'm not trying to go out there with 16 offers, 15 this and that. You get to be like, yo, I do one thing. Now there's different ways you can access me in that one thing, but I'm concentrating this. That allows you to really dial in your offer, and your offer is what's going to ultimately get you paid and making the income and the earning potential that you want. That the fact what you niche, you can hone in and concentrate your efforts on what you coach, your process, so you can be excellent, your offers, your messaging. The quality of your business will skyrocket as long as you take the time to do this, because it's not an overnight thing. Mm-hmm. And that's why most people don't do it. It's not an overnight thing. And everyone is looking for the tactic when you need a better strategy. This is a strategic way to build
something to what you shared there?
Sure.
Because I was the queen of half dog holes and product ADD, but mostly product ADD. And what that did was create a lot of stress for me because I had so many different offers, small offers all over the place. And what that did was stress me out because I'm like, what do I market today? What am I marketing? What am I talking about? What am I offering people? I'm always talking about something different or offering something different. There wasn't a cohesive message about what I was about, what I did. And it made it really hard for me to streamline my message, my marketing, so that I was really getting through to people about who I serve and how I help them and how I do it,
and
right?
with the amount of noise today, best of luck trying to do
so
all that.
hard.
Best of luck. And then
Simplify your
do
life.
you know what that leads to? It also leads to us curriculum, course, webinar, summit, guru, junkie hopping. Because you're just like, oh, I don't know. I'm not making enough money in this thing that I was coaching over here. So maybe I'm going to start coaching this thing over here. So I'll get this other certification and I'll get this other thing and I'll get this other thing. And you're like, maybe I'll try selling that and I'll try selling that. So you're just all over the effing place.
Makes it hard.
Versus you're like, I know my topic, my space, and I'm zeroed in on that thing. Back to that sniper, like you're like, I only see one thing. Now the skill sets and the things around that, that's what you're specifically going to go hunt. And because you hunt those specific skill sets that make you better at that process that you coach and that focus that you have, you rise up to the levels of 8, 9, and 10 in your industry. And as John Maxwell taught many years ago, the market don't pay top dollar for anything but 8, 9s, and 10s. So if you aren't focused enough to be so excellent that you're up at that level, it's why you're not getting the price that you want. That's why you're struggling in the low price discount thing, like just trying to take anybody and everybody, as compared to you got control over your financial future and the spigot on how to make it come in. Because it's not that we don't have ups and downs, but when you own skill sets like this, you're like, no, when the pandemic hit, when this and that hit, like for a minute we were like, oh, but I'm like, thank God I studied a lot of shit about money and business and marketing right now, because there's a whole new test about, do I got the metal to make this work? And we had our best freaking year that we've had in this brand because skill sets like this, focus like this. So that's why we want you guys thinking about this, so you too can kind of have that running behind you, because it just changes your energy in life too. Because you'll be able to be like, I know I got the family taken care of. I know I got the kids taken care of. I know I got our future taken care of. I know I've got the ability to perpetuate my message because I know how to fund my mission. And it changes your freaking life.
Yeah. And it streams all the way back to just like, who do you want to serve? Get specific, because if you know specifically who you serve, then you know specifically what to create for them and how to be the specialist for them, so that you do build the business you love, have the peace that you want, and you're able to have control over your financial future. Because that's really what he's talking about, is that when it starts by knowing these essentials, you're truly able to have more control over your business.
So to bring a couple things home with the last two things here, I want to be like, how do you choose a niche? Now, there's a lot of ways to discuss that thing out there, but I just be literally like, start with the big question of, who do you love serving? And what problems and or transformation do you love delivering?
And I would also add, why do you love delivering that transformation and that process? Because creating the change in the world, you want to do that for a reason, whether it's your own journey that you've experienced, whether it's a loss that you had, whether it's something transformational that happened in your life. You're combining your expertise and your personal journey with why you're out in the world trying to make the difference that you are. So don't disregard your own journey in life and what you've learned over the years, because that's a big piece of who you are.
Personal brands are built on that very concept. Your story, your journey, your steps, your process, your experience,
your knowledge,
your results. Like, all we really teach, we use online business and online brand as the vehicle to the result that we figure out is really the freedom lifestyle and living your daily dream experience and all that kind of stuff. That we're like, that's really the outcome. The vehicle is online brand and online business, etc. We're like, what we figured out is how we went from broke and stuck in jobs and stuck in brick and mortar and this and that and not living the life that we wanted and this, to where we're at today. Our wine country life.
Doing the work we love, living where we love, creating the agenda that we love, having the time freedom that we love. It's all about freedom for us. But what helped us get that freedom was building our own business, right? Building our own online brand and business. And so when we help people do this, it's because we want to help you, the expert, do the work that you love, and that's going to deliver all those other freedoms.
Yes, because we were like, we've got an expertise, but why can't we get paid what we want? Why aren't we making the money that we want?
Like,
why aren't we getting the freedom that we want?
So
why
tired.
Is this all there really is? Like I was sold the wrong dream about brick and mortar.
Good to be this beaten down in my career, right? Like so many experts out there, so good at what they do, so talented and gifted and passionate, yet being like worked to the bone and burnt out. Yeah,
I know a lot of broke experts.
And there's no need for it anymore.
And we're here to just help you be like, yo, because there's a lot about marketing. There's a lot about selling. There's a lot about business building. And all we've done is distill it down into like, yo, there's 6 major steps before you freaking worry about anything else. And in those 6 steps, there's very specific things around them. You're to focus in on those because, and all we're doing for people is like, we're trying to remove the overwhelm, the confusion, the information overload. You're trying to do that for your market because they're confused, they're overloaded, they're all over the place. So if you're able to say, hey, listen, man, if you have been stuck in this and you've been trying all this, I can show you the 5 steps through that. Money coming, because you're cutting through noise, time, money effort, lost money, lost effort, lost time. And when you can show them, I figured out a process for it.
Yep.
That's why you're also going to get paid premium. And it's also how you can start guaranteeing results, and the market will pay big for results. Big solution, big result, big pay.
This is like a bonus for you guys. Vito's going all into brand building right now. I mean, this is gold. And like, here's
what
the
I
thing.
do, people.
If you follow us on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or whatnot, definitely like message us, comment below, get into our Facebook group. It is a private group. We only accept the ideal
people.
person.
So if you're not in there, you're not cool.
We don't accept everybody. Sorry, but if you don't answer the questions, you're not invited. So there are some questions to answer, but it's important because this is a community that, we're constantly looking to serve. And it's okay to say like, yeah, you got to pick a niche, the pros and cons. But it's another thing to say like, this is my niche, I think. Should I go for that? Well, what's your expertise? Do some back and forth, do some question asking. Like, that's what groups are for. That's what communities are for. That's why we have that community. And so people can ask questions and start digging into, what is my business ideal? Is it viable? Is this something I should move forward with?
Do I got a right strategy to get after, et cetera? That like
get through that.
I've yet to find somebody that figures all this crap out on their own.
Seriously,
but
we didn't.
We got to deliver one last thing that I promised in the email. What's the best offer to come out with in your new niche when you nail it down, or let us help you nail that down? Your best offer to come out with is a two-parter. Are you taking notes? I hope so. On the new Remarkable. It's a 2-parter. Cash flow offer. Oh, did you see Adrienne's attitude towards me? I just saw it. She's like, yeah, get paid. Yeah, Vito, shut up.
I think it's the same thing.
It's not, Anna.
I'll tell you guys why it is.
And I do not want to be corrected again.
Guys, we fight about this we fight like this all the time.
All the time.
Like, you should see us on whiteboards.
Don't you think it's endearing though? I think it's endearing.
It's because he's Sicilian, so his temper is like up and down every second, and I have to just manage him.
Adrienne gets you. You two should have a I'm married to Italians freaking little club. That's a niche. That's a new niche for you.
Wow,
I'm married to Italians.
Married to Italians.
Do you need help? Are you married to an Italian?
And are they crazy enough to live with? No? Okay, I'll help you
navigate.
That's
a legitimate motherfucking course
right
there.
How to manage your Italian husband. Yes.
That's a legitimate.
I would take that course.
Legitimate course
legitimately take that course.
Oh my
How
God,
to manage your Italian husband.
That's a legitimate course, people. But best offer to come out with, cash flow, meaning you can charge a good price for it because you included coaching. If you're just coming out with a course that doesn't have coaching, you often can't come out with a big enough dollar to be able to go and make the business viable faster. And I'm assuming you're in the newer or stuck space. If you are already a major influencer, you got a major list, you got a major stuff like that, this doesn't apply. But you're coming out and you're just discovering what you really want to dial into.
It's like your first launch.
It's right. It's like your first launch or your first hopefully successful launch. Because people have launched and been landed flat.
Nobody bought.
Yeah. But it's got to be an offer that can cash flow the business, and you don't need a ton of people to get the thing going. So you're trying to come in at that $1,500, $2,000 to $5,000 range. Again, I don't know where each one of you is at.
Industries are
so
all
I'm
different.
giving some ballparks
Right.
here and whatnot, but that usually needs to require coaching with it.
Yeah.
And since you're typically testing a new process in your niche or in your market, you want it to be where you're like, I gotta be involved in the coaching because I gotta find out what's working, what's not working,
Yeah,
what's this,
you're
that,
testing,
etc.
you're tweaking,
moving things
you're
around
rolling
like
with the punches.
most billion-dollar companies do. They're all like, we test everything and we figure out and we go that. But we focus on production over perfection. We get better and we're on to version 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, while most of the market is still trying to be perfect. And that's why we're winning in the market. So you want to get out faster. And that means the second part, besides enough money to cash flow the business, is something focused, beta. We love now starting to teach like the case study offer.
Mhm.
How do you get people to take advantage of the psychology of like, I'm first, I'm like special, I get some special time, some special deal.
I'm rewarded for being an early adopter.
Exactly.
And the reason I love this like focus group case study idea when you first launch a program out, and it's, remember, it's a coaching program. So they're getting you. It's not like it's a done do-it-yourself course and you just go into the learning portal and you do, right? This is with you and you're coaching them through a process of transformation. So that's why it's high ticket. And second of all, it allows you to actually create your content as you go and continuously get feedback from your people.
Well, you want to have had the curriculum mapped out,
of course,
and created, but it doesn't mean you have to shoot it all ahead of time.
Automate it or do any fancy
Instead,
stuff.
You run like you run your launch, this and that, your case study offer, whatever, focus group beta, whatever the hell you want to do, etc. You close for 2 weeks, then you're like, I got 3, I got 5, I got 10, I got 2, it doesn't matter, I got 1. And then you're like, great, we start in a week. And then you start staying 1 week ahead. And you're live, you're in the motion, you're raw in it. It's also, by the way, it's also keeping you very present with in your curriculum and with your people. That is really good, because when we go off into the vacuum of trying to create the curriculum or the course, we're not present with the people, and we're off also doing other things, which is why I love hearing people like, I'm building the course. I'm like, how long have you been trying to build that course? They're like, 2 years. I'm like, you ain't present with what you want to be doing. Because in the coaching, you're like, I got real. I said, I'm going to do that. And now people are in. Every week, I better be dialed into producing. Every week, I'd be dialed into producing. And it will change the intensity in which you build.
This is less intimidating for the true expert. Like if you're a true expert at something and you've been doing it a while and you've kind of been doing the same thing over and over again, it's like you meet with a client, you repeat the same stuff and you give the same advice and you're always going over it again. If you're a true expert and you have a process where you can create transformation, result, outcome for your ideal person, then you shouldn't be scared to coach them through it. Like you don't need a course, you don't need a learning portal. Get on camera and teach, share, educate, and then answer questions. Like that's what you're doing in this coaching program, this case study type offer, because you need to know that your process is going to be effective, that it works, and get the feedback immediately before you start putting anything in stone.
And right now, we've seen courses for last decade plus, and people still struggling. What we figured out in our space, in our industry, when we all talk in our masterminds and stuff, is that the world needs coaching right now. People need coaching. They need help. They need facilitation, execution, implementation,
accountability,
process, order, community, all these elements that start to make up a freaking killer cash flow offer out there and whatnot. But so hopefully you guys got some. We'll take a couple seconds of Q&A outside of Adrienne. I saw your comment and I just thought about a new program. Italian men married to women who don't get us. It's a whole other program out there.
Then it has to be coached by other Italian women.
Me and Francesca will create that one.
Want Italian
Anna
women
and Adrienne, you create yours. We'll see who gets the market faster.
Because I love talking to Italian women who literally are like completely, I'm like, how do Italians actually marry?
Well, Italian
because they
women
seem so alike that
understand that we're stupid. They're like, I gotta say, Italian women are just like, I gotta say, Where like American women are like, is this for real?
Do they
Is
talk like this all the
whatever?"
time?
Like Anna came to our house for Christmas once, like her very first time.
Oh my God.
And because she used to be like, "Why do you yell?" I'm like, "What do you mean?"
I'm like, I'm
I
right.
just speak
I'm right
passionately.
here.
I just
I'm
speak passionately.
sitting at
I don't know
dinner
what
with
you're
you
talking
right
about
here.
and whatnot. And then she saw our entire family. She's like, "Oh, it's not you. You all yell. You all do this." I'm like, "This isn't yelling to us."
So they're all hard of hearing
no,
because they've been yelling at each other for
No.
years, so they can't really hear how
No, you see,
loud they are.
Adrienne needs my new course, How to Be Married to an Italian. Yep.
I like
yep.
it, and like especially when
That's
you're at a little Italian restaurant and like Vito's letting everybody in on our stories, all of our conversation.
Okay.
I'm like,
so those of you that want to
whisper
write in
voices.
once again to how mean Anna is to Vito, you can write to annaismean@vitolafata.com.
no, you have the different website.
No. That's it.
Anna needs to be nicer to Vito.com is
That's
what
right.
you said.
That's right.
Anyways, any questions? I don't think so. There we go. We got some highs.
Yep. No major questions. I'm telling you, people, when you get this opportunity to ask some questions, I take advantage of it.
Jump into our
But
OBSS
otherwise-
group,
Yep.
Online Business Success Secrets.
That's it.
We'll put the link in the chat.
Stay tuned for some amazing things that are
So,
coming
we
out
can get
as
that in there. Yeah.
Oh, we got some new shiz coming and whatnot. But in the
Busy month.
meantime, if you're like, I'm stuck on my niche, I'm this and that, you can DM us, you can message us, you can email us, you can flash a smoke screen, you can send in a pizza with a little message in it that says, I want to know how to niche my
Pizza
business.
would win
and this and
Vito's
that.
heart over,
Oh.
guys. You could totally do that.
We got Bay Cities now, so Anna can make some fresh pizzas again. All right, peeps, go out there. Do not be afraid to niche. Go find those riches in the niches, and we'll freaking see you next episode. Peace.
Bye, guys. See ya, Aaron. Bye, Adrienne. I would do the this first. Yeah.